A blessed day, a blessed morning to all of you who are here, and welcome back to our seminarians after their vacation. And also those who are joining us through this live stream. As I used to do, I would like to focus this reflection on the first reading, hardly tackled in our reflection. Anyway, we have these the readings of the gospel meditated on, preached about on this during Sundays. So the first reading is from the one of the so-called minor prophets, Nahum. No? He lived around 6th or 7th century before Christ. And his context was, and also his concern in his writings is something political and international at that time. During that period, the superpower was Assyria, and it destroyed Israel. But thanks to the Babylonians, destroyed also Assyria. No. So you see this political situation, no, like the superpowers today, no, trying to outdo each other. And this situation prompted Nahum to give his prophecy or the message of the Lord in the midst of this situation. The words of Nahum in today's reading appear to be a poetic description of the frustrations of the defeated people of Jerusalem, of Judah, but also expresses the joy because the Babylonians helped them to defeat their enemy. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend in that sense, no? And these Babylonians destroyed the kingdom of these oppressors, the Assyrians. In reality, it is a reading, according to commentators, this is a reading from the perspective of wisdom, meaning emphasizing the transitoriness or the fleeting character of human kingdoms and powers. Kingdoms raised with weapons and oppressions compared to the persistence of that small kingdom of Judah by God. Violence produces violence, and he who produces death gathers death in a short time or after many years. So the basic question here is that, is there justice of history that ends up eating empires built on violence? And the obvious answer is yes, because beyond politics and their times, there is the Lord of history, the Lord who watches over morality, the morality of our choices, even our political choices. This kind of justice, Israel, a very weak nation among the powerful, is and would become the proclaimer of this truth that there is end to political violence, empires built on violence. There is a mysterious justice that never abandons history. Although it is difficult to say how and when it happens, the discomfort in the face of these repetitions of injustices invoke or lead us to project to a time that is coming, a state where the kingdom of God that is beyond time on earth and its fulfillment beyond this realm. So, with this perspective, we see life, history, with greater confidence because of the work of God who leads and directs history. How many superpowers emerged in this earth and disappeared? During the colonization of the Philippines, the superpowers then were Portugal and Spain. Now, of course, you know them. But we should not be intimidated. The message of the Lord is all powers, political and other powers, they have their end. And see that the persistence of God and espousing the rights of the poor like Israel, we see that His power triumphs over violence. The message, therefore, is on different levels, be it political, be it personal. The message is that we trust more, we should trust more in God's power, in God's wisdom, more than our power, more than our wisdom. And we ask the Lord then that we may have the capacity and the wisdom to see and accept and espouse this power of God, the power of His love. And we continue as we meditate on these things. We continue to pray for peace also in the world. The end of wars, especially in Ukraine, for example, and other parts where there are violence. So, as we come to this Eucharist, we ask the Lord of Peace to enlighten us, to enlighten our leaders, political leaders, to look for peaceful means and to grow closer to each other in unity.